And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. Always a busy day on a Tuesday. And of course, the week just got busier, no doubt about it, with more interviews here on the show as we prepare for CMA Fest 2024 coming up here June 6th to the 9th. A beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. 7 stages to be out there too as well. We're going to be hanging out at Fanfare X inside the Music City Center out there too as well. Conducting a lot of interviews out there with all of us here at the Backstage Pass, myself, Elise Saunders, and a whole lot more out there too as we invade Nashville Country Music Association, the big festival 2024. And also, the tickets on sale now, cmafest.com. And of course, out there to the CMA Fest Connect app. And again, presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey, the official whiskey of the show. And out there to the CadenGordonShow.com, today's best country mix. So speaking of country mix out there too, he's killing it right now. Some of those charts out there, just rising the song. The latest 3-song, I see EP or short album out there too, however you want to call it. Hearts and Horses, Gunnar Latham, Texas Country Artist. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, how are you? You doing good today?
Good. Yeah, just preparing for this little thing called CMA Fest. It just gets busier every day, and now we're in the thick of it. It's crazy.
I would imagine so, man. Lots of artists.
Yeah, a ton of them, no doubt. About 17, 18 interviews already scheduled, pre-planned before we get there. June 6th to 9th of 2024. But it's going to be busy. And for our stations out there, hightidecountry.net and KKTC True Country 99.9 will be broadcasted on there too as well. Hey, let's talk about this. You grew up around the church and, of course, the rodeo and music and all these things just kind of intertwined and connected. But I think it was, 2019, in reading the story and doing the homework here on the show, you decided to kind of go all in on music. Tell us about that, from growing up to saying I'm going to do this and not do rodeo.
Sure. Long story short is I grew up in church playing all kinds of instruments, piano, bass, drums, guitar. You know, my dad and I played my first gig when I was like 8 years old playing a djembe, you know, and my dad and I would go to revivals or something and play and, you know, that kind of thing. And then my dad rodeoed, and so he kind of introduced me to the sport of team roping and riding bulls and stuff, but I wasn't really much of a bull rider. He was back in the day. I'm a little bit bigger to be on a bull than most guys. And I just frankly wasn't good at it. But when I went to college, I'd met some friends that played guitar, and I was like, oh man, I can play guitar, you know, and I always loved cowboy poetry. I was a real fan of that. And the school I went to in Alpine, Texas is called Sul Ross State University, and they have a big cowboy poetry poem festival every year. So I would go and listen in and like, man, that's really cool. And then I kind of started writing songs from there and would play them, you know, at the rodeos around a tailgate, drinking with friends and, you know, kind of after party stuff. And then people were like, hey, dude, if you went and played down at the bar, like we'd come and see you. I was like, oh, really? So then we just kind of started doing that. And then, man, I just for me, God just kind of really took the fire away from rodeo and really put it into country music. You know, I did it professionally, rodeo that is, for a while, and collegiately and stuff, and was at a decent level. But man, it cost a lot of money to go and cost even more to lose. So yeah, it costs money to win, basically. Yeah, and I kind of started doing math and realized that I don't know, I can at least break even and pay my bills correctly playing music, which is kind of insane, but you know, once a dreamer, always a dreamer, they say.
That's it. I started this thing 5 years ago and never would have imagined the opportunities that have come up in this too. And hey, you know what? Family makes sacrifices. The people you love do the same time. You make trips, you go off, and it's crazy to go cover concerts and remotes and things like that. So even starting my own radio show, even though I had 20 plus years experience in it, God was talking to me saying, look, you know, like you said, always a dreamer, forever a dreamer. So it's just one of those things to where you start something like that. You're proud of your body of work, and you should be with this Hearts and Horses 3-song record out there too, which we're going to dig into here in a little bit. Hey, tell me about this. You've got that old school 90s country feel. No matter what you've put out, we're going to go song by song with the body of work today and the catalog of songs that you've put out. But man, this Hearts and Horses thing has just really defined you. That song is just so good, man. And there's so many excellent points in there lyrically that people can kind of feel with the song telling a story. Tell me how important that is.
Yeah, well, I kind of realized through writing songs is something that has more of a story, has a little more character. And Me personally, as a country music fan and a listener, the songs that really affected me the most were the ones that have the detail. You know what I mean? Like it seems like they were actually the person in the room, or it actually happened to them. Now, this song "Hearts and Horses" that I wrote with Bart Butler and Josh Grider. It's not a necessarily a exactly true story to the T, but you can imagine a cowboy meeting a cowgirl. You're going to get your heart broke every now and again, and that definitely happened in my life. And that just adds the character, like I was saying, to the story. But I mean, as you go and start writing songs, you kind of start figuring out things that fit your sound and your style. And this particular song to me kind of felt like it was my cowgirl that got away anthem. You know what I mean? It kind of gives the woman a little bit of power. And I don't know. I thought it was kind of unique to do it that way.
Yeah, y'all really just put some great writing into that song too as well. Man, she's out there somewhere, and you kind of put that auburn hair on the back of it too as well. Just a great one of those songs that you kind of want to just drive, go 70, 75 the interstate, go out to like Kerrville or something, and where the speed limit goes to like 80 or travel to El Paso.
Amen, brother.
And turn it up and just like let it fly.
Yeah.
That's what's so good about this particular song. And like you said, T-R CDX, wherever it's at right now, I know it's going to do very well. As a former program director at radio, it's a top 10 single, just in my opinion.
Hey, thank you.
Good stuff. Hey, let's have you play a little something off there. You got 3 songs that I guess we could start right there. We're talking about it, right? So
yeah, I guess might as well.
Do it.
Yeah, this song's called "Hearts and Horses."
Here we go.
She was sitting on the fender of her 2-horse trailer, straw hat, pearl snapping, worn out wranglers, tied up bay, new Chevrolet with the cowgirl sticker on the tailgate. It went from how are you to 2 bar stools, to a couple 2 steps, to a motel room, to making love, to waking up, to an adios cowboy cloud of dust. Now she's out there somewhere with a wild wind blowing through her auburn hair, and that Duramax running wide open under a champagne sky. You can't blame her, can't tame her. It's just the way the good Lord made her. Freedom chasing, sunset racing, out there breaking hearts and horses. She ain't the kind to be fenced in. You just hold on as long as you can, 'cause you're gonna fall, she's gonna fly. You'll remember that ride the rest of your life. Yeah, she's out there somewhere with a wild wind blowing through her auburn hair, and that Duramax running wide open under a champagne sky. You can't blame her, can't tame her. It's just the way the good Lord made her. Freedom chasing, sunset racing, out there breaking hearts and horses. Yeah, hearts and horses. We burned hot and we burned fast, and a girl like that never looks bad. Yeah, she's out there somewhere with a wild wind blowing through her auburn hair, and that Duramax running wide open under a champagne sky. You can't blame her, can't tame her. It's just the way the good Lord made her. Freedom chasing, sunset racing, out there breaking hearts and horses. Yeah, hearts and horses.
And that's how it's done here on the Backstage Pass. I like that. Hold that note at the end, too, with that strum of the guitar right there. Gunnar Latham here on the show. KKTC, True Country, 99.9, and our friends up there at hightidecountry.net. And some more big news coming up for the Backstage Pass as we're going to another radio station. I'm going to leave it at that as a tease for right now, too, as well. But trust me, when you find out over these next few weeks, you're going to be glad you did. And tune into all the great shows. We'll feature all the great artists here again just a few weeks out from CMA Fest 2024 there, June 6th to the 10th in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. Check out all the information right there, too, at cmafest.com and download the CMA Fest Connect app. We got to take a time out, pay bills for people that paid to get that in right there, too, as well. Bangtail Whiskey, the official whiskey of the show out there, too. Check them out at bangtail.com. Get your order in now. And the CadenGordonShow.com, today's best country mix out there, too, as well. More with Gunnar. I love the name right there. Gunnar Latham here on the Backstage Pass, hightidecountry.net, and our friends at KKTC, True Country, 99.9. A word from Bangtail Whiskey. Stay tuned.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
The Caden Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thecadengordonshow.com. Again, that is thecadengordonshow.com.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And, of course, if you're looking for that best in country Christian music out there, too, that positive, uplifting message, check out our friend out there, too, as well. Jonathan Bond out there, Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter, jonathanbond.com. Click the link there, go right to the YouTube channel, and, of course, the impact he's making in country Christian music. And don't forget, Sunday, June 9th, we'll see Mr. Jonathan Bond and a whole host of legends. Sunday Morning Country, the 42nd annual event, will be backstage, no pun intended, but a backstage at the Grand Ole Opry out there, too, hosted by Brenda Lee, interviewing some of the legends in country music on KKTC, True Country, 99.9, and, of course, out there, hightidecountry.net and the Backstage Pass SG YouTube channel. You can check it out there, too, across all those sources. And don't forget, this coming Thursday, we just added a great show. He's one of the hottest artists right now on the block and doing some big things. Blanco Brown coming here on the Backstage Pass this coming Thursday. Back here with Gunnar Latham, Hearts and Horses, the current EP across all those digital platforms, or 3-song record out there, too. I was just saying EPs, getting into 6 or 7 songs. But I know there's more to come. And I wanted to ask you about Good to Be a Cowboy, which is a great song to lead off this EP.
Yeah, man. That was a song that I wrote with Mitch Oglesby and my producer, Josh Grider. And Mitch is a hit songwriter, great guy. Love him to death. And anyways, we kind of had this idea for a song. I was like, man, I've always loved Amarillo by Morning, and like this song about this guy on the road, and maybe he's just kind of solo doing his own thing, being the cowboy spirit type. And when we were writing this song, I was like, man, I think it'd be cool to come from a perspective of a guy that's been on the road rodeoing and been losing his butt. The other words in the song, I don't know if it's appropriate to say on here or not, but you could imagine. Anyways, and he gets to the bar or honky tonk or whatever, and he walks in and he's like bummed out that he's been losing a bunch of money on the road. And this girl's like, well, I love cowboys. And he's like, it's good to be a cowboy tonight. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of it.
Amazing when they come together, no doubt. Hey, growing up, man, you got that old school sound, like I mentioned there, with these type of songs that you've put out through the catalog here. Was it kind of that 90s country that really influenced you?
Oh, absolutely, man. But that being said, even older than that, really, I'm a huge fan of Glenn Campbell and Conway Twitty. Those have been some of my biggest influences in music as far as chord changes and progressions and stuff. And I'm a huge Dean Dillon writing style chord progression fan. So that's why I have a lot of sevens and kind of different changes in minors. Sorry, I shouldn't start calling Nashville numbers on here. People get confused. But numbers on different chord progressions, basically, is all I'm trying to say.
I love it. Yeah.
And
I get it too. Being in the music business, no doubt, but some of the listeners may not understand what you're talking about with that too.
Yeah.
But the other one off there was another one just had one of those messages that you're like, yeah, man, this speaks to the core and like is a gut punch on it. But when you want to be left alone, leave me alone is the third song off this record too. And it pretty much says that, you know what? Here's the story, taking it from the beginning to the middle to the end. And what a great tune, right?
Yes, sir. We so the original way we wanted to do the EP, we first recorded it as a continuous song. So it would be like a 9-minute, 30 seconds whole song with 3 songs and transitions from the steel guitar that slide into the next key and all that. But we couldn't figure out exactly how that was going to work on releasing the music. So we just kind of did it the way it is. But originally, it was going to be called the Western Trilogy. And it's this song, basically, cowboy meets a girl. Then he realizes that girl that he met is also a cowgirl, and she breaks his heart and horses. And then the third song, Leave Me Alone, that we're talking about, is about him trying to do everything he can to get her memory off of his mind, and it just won't leave him alone.
I love it too. Yep. And also you guys had a little bit busy end of the year last year with one called 1-2 Step. And I thought that was another one of those that really stuck out to me as I'm going through the list of songs and your body of work there too. Another good feel, man. It just has that dance hall feel to that one.
Yes. I've always loved discos. Like, I'm not a disco dancer, but I will 2-step under one in a dance hall, you know. But
great song.
Yeah. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to have this retro throwback feel of just this guy needing to dance with somebody. And I tell people, like, live at a show, I'm like, hey, if you need some words to try and figure out how to ask somebody to dance with you, just use my song as a pickup line. Hopefully it'll work. But yeah,
no doubt too, if you're looking to do that. Don't hold your breath. That's something we always say in life, maybe do that. But another one of those songs that kind of sticks out too and was busy for you guys back in 2022. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, I had that song for a really long time, and it was kind of one of those where I started just playing it, and I didn't really have it recorded or nothing, and people would just, as they started coming to more shows, started singing it back to me because it's a pretty hooky little segment there in the chorus. So I was like, well, if the fans like it, I might as well just put it out, and so that's kind of what we did.
Hey, as long as the fans like it, that's all that matters. It's at radio, they're playing it,
that's
turning
right.
it up. And like I said, driving 75 somewhere on some interstate out there too, and really not on their phone, but streaming it on radio in the car.
Absolutely.
Like that too, which is great out there too. Again, Hearts and Horses, the current 3-song trilogy out there too from Gunnar Latham and GunnarLatham.com for more information there too. I tell you what, we'll come back, take this final time out against CMA Fest 2024. We'll talk all about that. Gunnar's got another performance for us, and then we'll get into rapid fire too as well. But again, it's exciting times, June 6th to 9th. CMA Fest will be there June 6th to about the 11th too, as well, having some extra days to get some things done there too at Fanfare X inside the Music City Center. Interviews already being set up there for HighTideCountry.net and KKTC True Country 99.9. 7 stages. The Nissan, of course, will have all the big shows out there with the big acts out there doing their thing at the home of the Tennessee Titans. And out there too, you guys can check out the Spotlight stage. I mean, everything out there, the Hard Rock stage, it's busy. And somebody for someone out there to check it out, all presented by our friends at Bangtail Whiskey. And of course, out there, the CadenGordonShow.com, today's best country mix. Download that CMA Fest Connect app right now. Check out the lineup and the schedules. Get your tickets, CMAFest.com. Do not miss out too if you have plans. And tell us about it, man. Leave us some comments in the box. We go live on these shows. We want to hear from you guys if you're going out there, because we're going to be there. And if you are, come by and see us. We want to talk to the fans and the artists at the same time too as well, and our good friends, the managers, the publicists, and of course everybody that does well at the great record labels out there too. It's CMA Fest 2024. For more information, log on CMAFest.com or download the CMA Fest Connect app. And one day, you know what? Hey, Gunnar could be on that lineup out there too. Look out, because
come on,
I know he's looking for that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Which is big. Word from Bangtail Whiskey and our friend Jonathan Bond out there too, and the CadenGordonShow.com, today's best country mix. Back in the flesh. More with Gunnar here on the program.
Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
The Caden Gordon Show, today's best country mix, is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back on the show, Gunnar Latham joining us here, KKTC True Country 99.9 in Towson up into Colorado, and our friends out there, HighTideCountry.net. Don't forget, coming up this Thursday, Blanco Brown coming by. We'll talk about the Get Up and a whole lot more. And, of course, he has persevered over the last few years, ever since, 2018-19, worked with some of the biggest names in the industry and is still one of the top names, the top artists out there, too. The Get Up, if you don't remember that, too, hey, you weren't listening to radio back then, too, as well. But Blanco Brown coming by here. Gunnar knows a little Blanco Brown. I'm sure he knows what that is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
He can tell us all about that, too. But if you can't, hey, go look it up. I think that thing was like certified triple platinum in the United States, and of course international smash hit that it was too. So tremendous singer, songwriter, performer. He's done it all to blend a little bit of that hip hop with country and impact country music in a lot of ways. Wouldn't be surprised if you see him on the Academy of Country Music Awards this Thursday night in Frisco, Texas. Hey, I was in Fort Worth last week, man, and I saw two great shows there. Warren Ziders on Friday night, and our good friend Brantley Gilbert, who we had on the show a while back in March, promoting his latest single, Off the Rails, with the big tour there. Man, Texas is so saturated in a good way with so many great artists, and I want to get your opinion. Why is that? It's like most guys don't even have to leave the state to make a good living.
Man, if my personal opinion is, I think it's the fans. They're just rich here in Texas with character and what they love, you know what I mean? And they take pride in the music that they have. They take pride when someone from Texas goes elsewhere and starts, succeeding. It's kind of like to me, when you have a friend that's cut from the same cloth, you know what I mean? Like they're just there from you from the get-go, very loyal. And to me, I think that's the reason that makes it kind of different here in Texas.
No doubt, man. Texas country is the best, too, as well. No offense to you. I've just lived here all my life. I love Texas country. No, not offending anybody. It's just something I grew up on down here, too, as well. All the great artists that have impacted country music there. Again, Hearts and Horses across all the platforms. Make sure you guys check it out. Another one off of there, or are we going to do something that people haven't heard? What's the choice here?
Man, I'd love to do one that I'm fixing to go in the studio and cut next month. That's all right with you.
Exclusive. I like that. Yes, that is perfect.
Yeah, something new. That'd be fun.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah, this song is called About to Lose You.
Here we go.
Rolling past Old River Bridge, I can't believe my phone started ringing, 'cause I'm out here in the sticks. No, I couldn't leave an old friend hanging. Man, I hate it, but I ain't got long. We can talk till the cut's off. I'm about to lose you out here in the tall pines, out where the birdshot meets an old stop sign. Good friends hanging like barbed wire on a fence post. Cut-offs dance on an old dirt road where cold beer meets Friday night fire. And God makes the stars shine a little bit brighter. Country boys and girls get down on the farm. Buddy, I'm down to one bar. I'm about to lose you. Yeah. Yeah, I might go at a line. I'll be sure and take a picture if I catch one. Climb up in that redneck blind. Farmer down the road says he saw a big one. Man, I wish you were with me right now. What's that you cutting in and out? I'm about to lose you out here in the tall pines, out where the birdshot meets an old stop sign. Good friends hanging like barbed wire on a fence post. Cut-offs dance on an old dirt road where cold beer meets Friday night fire. And God makes the stars shine a little bit brighter. Country boys and girls get down on the farm. Buddy, I'm down to one bar. I'm about to lose you. Yeah. If you can hear me, I'll call you back, I swear. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm about to lose you out here in the tall pines, out where the birdshot meets an old stop sign. Good friends hanging like barbed wire on a fence post. Cut-offs dance on an old dirt road where cold beer meets Friday night fire. And God makes the stars shine a little bit brighter. Country boys and girls get down on the farm. Buddy, I'm down to one bar. I'm about to lose you. Yeah.
Yeah, I became a Gunnar Latham fan. You should too, if you're out there. Real quick, when I learned about there's great artists out there too, you made a great decision. Like I said, when you went music full time in 2019.
Hey, thanks, man.
These next few years, brother, get ready, as I'm fully immersed in the business now too, on the different aspects of it besides just a radio show. You just tell stories, man, really good. And this EP is indicative of that. Hearts and Horses and the latest single there. I cannot wait till that comes. Is there a drop date for that yet?
Not yet. I literally just picked a date to record. So I'm doing it June 17th and 18th. I'm going to record 6 songs and kind of just push them all out as singles. But just things that I really love. And I'm hiring a band and flying guys down here to Texas and just kind of wanted to camp out for a couple of days and really just kind of hone in and be organic with it. So see what happens. But yeah, man.
Let's go back to a little old school. You guys have put out some things 2021. I got to check out Volume 1. And then Volume 2 comes out too at the same time. And I loved Everything I Had off of Volume 2. Tell us about that one too. And then the progression from the first one to the second one as your first set of music to release out there to the fans.
Yes, sir. So that song, Everything I Had, was actually a true story that I had written down some lines and a similar idea years before I ever actually wrote the song. I was in college and this old man had came up to me, who was a rancher in town, like I said, going in Alpine, Texas. And a thing that I would do in the cowboy world is called day working. So you're a day work cowboy, so somebody will pay you $150. You get up at 5 a.m., go saddle a colt. They'll throw you out on, I don't know, 25,000 acres or something like that. And you just go find cattle if you can and then come back by lunch and then you have another job or something, And it's pretty rural out there in the desert, the Chihuahuan Desert where I was at. And anyways, we had got done and we went and it was about 4 o'clock and this old man came in there and sat next to me and we just kind of started shooting the bull and talking about life. And I was trying to tell him like all the things that I had planned in my rodeo career and this stuff. And he was telling me about all the things that he had done in his life and the most important things that he has cherished. And this guy is 78 years old, no telling how old he is now. Anyways, he was just saying that having relationships in your family and keeping people close to you in your life and respecting things. And just the way he kind of told me his story. And then all of a sudden it went to that. I was like, wow, man, it really hit me hard. Yeah. And years later it was like during COVID on a Zoom, right? Bobby Hamrick and my producer, Josh Greider, were sitting down and he's like, hey man, I got this kind of idea. It's called, I don't really know what it's called, but this is the first half of the chorus. And it was I lost it all and I got to tell you. And happiness ain't something they sell you. And I was like, dude, this old man told me this years ago. And we just wrote the song and that's like the honest story. And I tell that story when I play it live. And Yeah, man, that's one of my favorites to
I
play.
love it too. Another one too that's one of the top I know streamed out there too. And you know what? Since it's a Tuesday, it's like Taco Tuesday for me too for food coming up later. So like I'm gonna do something a little bit different because I want to hear it here on the program, and we'll come back and talk about it here. Thank God
Yeah,
it's raining, and it did that through Texas pretty much the last 2 or 3 days with the storms coming through. But
it's
I
been
think you'll
crazy.
hear it in this song right here. It's been crazy, no doubt. Hey, let's have you
Yeah.
play that one right now. Let's do it.
Oh, thank God it's raining.
Let's do it. I want to hear this one absolutely, and I think
Let's
the
do
fans
it.
out there, New Mexico, Colorado, kind of feel the same too.
Heck yeah, man. It's been a hell of a dry spell, everything's burning up. There's still 6 more weeks of summer to go. But it looks like we might be in for a little break. 'Cause I see lightning, I can hear the thunder roll. I just heard the first drop, I hope it don't stop. Thank God it's raining, baby, let's stay in. This house all tangled up in this bed. It came without warning, but I'm glad it's storming. Better take shelter like that weatherman said. You must have heard me praying. Thank God it's raining. I can't mow, can't go to town 'cause the road might flood. I can't do half the things I was gonna get done. But get a pen, we can make a list, me and you. Yeah. Of all the things that we've been meaning to do. Thank God it's raining, baby, let's stay in. This house all tangled up in this bed. It came without warning, but I'm glad it's storming. Better take shelter like that weatherman said. You must have heard me praying. Thank God it's raining, yeah, all right. And let the sky pour the water, and I'll pour some wine, and we'll find a way to pass the time. Thank God it's raining, baby, let's stay in. This house all tangled up in this bed. It came without warning, but I'm glad it's storming. Better take shelter like that weatherman said. You must have heard me praying. You know what I'm saying. Thank God it's raining.
I love it. It's the Gunnar Latham Music Show here, presented by here on the
Right on.
Backstage. I love it, dude. Thank God it's raining across all the streaming platforms, and get Hearts and Horses at current 3-song trilogy out there too for you guys to check it out, and of course GunnarLatham.com. All right, let's have a little fun here. First, I got to talk about that particular song. Where did that idea come from? My goodness, what a song that hits you out of nowhere.
Yeah, we were actually at my producer's house. I keep saying this. His name is Josh Grider. He's been around Texas for years. One of my best friends. I love this man. And let's see, lives like 10 minutes from my house. And we were sitting out there in the back yard. He's got kind of a studio thing, looking out the window, thinking of ideas and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it started raining and I go, oh, thank God it's raining. And he goes, oh, we should write that today. I was like, all right. And so I just kind of was like, thank God it's raining. And just kind of went from there.
Wow,
yeah, just kind of, we wrote that song in like, I don't know, 30 minutes maybe.
That's crazy. The littlest things happen, and like I said, so that's the song right there. Hook. Let me go fill in the rest of it too. Put the sentences in there too to make sure it's got a little rhyme and reason to it. No doubt. All right.
Right.
Hey, speaking of Texas, I wouldn't be Texas if I didn't throw a little sports conversation with you because I still watch him. I'm a Cowboy fan too. It's been pretty disheartening for fans. The Dallas Cowboys for 25, 30 years, whatever it's been since the last really big Super Bowl win. Is that your team in Texas? Now, the Texans are on the rise, the Houston Texans too. But, like, for me, I'm a Cardinal fan in Arizona. We used to be I watch the Cowboys here and there kind of things. My wife loves them. But where do you kind of draw the line in the sand with your football, baseball teams?
Anything from Texas. I'm like, if Texans are playing somebody else, I'm going to go for the Texans. If the Cowboys are playing the Texans, I'm going for the Cowboys. I grew up a Cowboys fan my whole life, just kind of, it's in my heritage generationally. So I'm not like the crazy big fan or anything like that, but I do love them. If I was to pick a team, it would be the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Now, baseball-wise, the Rangers, I know, won it last year. Houston a couple of years ago. Astros, Rangers. Is it a little bit of both or one or the other?
I like the Astros, man.
All right.
At first, I kind of was into Rangers and stuff, and then as I got older and I started meeting buddies, and over a couple Miller Lights, they converted me into being an Astros fan.
Hey, it's all good. Both teams, they've done exceptionally well over the last few years too, and hopefully this season will turn around for the Astros. Seem like they're hitting their stride right now, playing the A's in this 4-game series, and the Milwaukee Brewers coming up, and a chance to go on a run here in this next 15, 20 games or so right there too. All right, favorite shows not watching sports, other shows to binge watch. What series do you get into?
Gosh. Oh, man. I watched this show. Oh, gosh. What is it called? Caught me off guard on that one.
Gotcha.
Oh, man. I don't watch too much of TV, but let's see. What's the last series I watched? Gosh, it's about, I can't believe, Suits. That's what it's called.
Suits.
It's called Suits on Netflix. It's like this attorney lawyer thing. I don't know. It was interesting. And then I called my attorney after like I could speak his same language. Not at all.
Not at all. No
like,
way,
dude, I can do this. What are you talking about?
I love it. Good stuff. That's a good show, dude. I got to finish that show. Yeah. There's so many good episodes I've not seen as of yet. All right, favorite Texas food. Is it Mexican food? What kind of food are we talking about?
100% Mexican food. I grew up in San Marcos, man. Yeah. That's beef enchiladas and a margarita is hard to beat for me.
Now, when in Nashville, what do you turn to? There's so many great restaurants there, too, that are catching up. And, I mean, Texas is still the home of Mexican food. But when in Nashville, what do you turn to?
Man, there's this place called Jack Brown's Burger that's down there kind of by Midtown-ish. And then I really like this Neapolitan Italian place, Napoli, that's down there kind of around the same area and stuff. That was really close to my old publishing house that I used to write at in Nashville. Mm-hmm. So we'd always walk down there and go, but every time I go, I got to revisit, man. I'm a sucker for some pasta and a red wine, man. It's nap time after that.
Yeah, it is, no doubt, too. And it's getting us dinner time here in the next hour or two, too, as well. And I tell you what, this is great. Love this EP. Authentic as it gets to the core from San Marcos, Texas. Hearts and Horses across all those digital platforms. Stream it, push it to radio, call your station. If they don't have it, tell them we're going to do it. We're going to play it tomorrow on KKTC. The double shot, hopefully reach Shelly in the morning. She was out to day 2 on a radio call there on KKTC, but we'll get back with her. And, of course, the featured artist tomorrow, them Dirty Roses. I just love saying that as a band. I love that band name. Blanco Brown coming up on Thursday, too, as well. And, of course, next week, double shot, Claire Dunn here on the Backstage Pass. And, of course, our good friend Kaylee Hammock coming by, too, as well. And, of course, the 59th Annual Academy of Country Music Awards coming up this Thursday night, the 16th. I think it's Prime Video. Reba McEntire, the queen of country music, hosting it out there, too, as well. And so many great artists up for some great awards. Good luck to all the nominees out there, too, in their respective categories. Gunnar, appreciate the time. Again, check him out at GunnarLatham.com and go stream Hearts and Horses across all those streaming platforms. Appreciate you, brother. Hope you enjoyed it. And we got to do this again when new music comes out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
You Got it. The one, the only Gunnar Latham out there too. Tomorrow, them Dirty Roses coming by. And of course, out there, Blanco Brown. We're going to get up on Thursday here on the Backstage Pass. Hottest selling line dance song since 2019, certified triple platinum out there across states and of course international smash hit that it was for Blanco Brown here on the Backstage Pass. Of course, next week, Kaylee Hammock, Claire Dunn coming by. We'll see you tomorrow about 4 o'clock, same bat time. Bat channels out there too. The Sports Guys Podcast.com, HighTideCountry.net, and of course KKTC True Country 99.9. See you soon. God bless.